Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping into something pretty unexpected. We're looking at urban drainage ditches. You know, those concrete channels.
Yeah, the ones you see everywhere.
Exactly. And how they've somehow become these amazing playgrounds for radio-controlled car enthusiasts.
It's a fascinating convergence, really. Our sources suggest it boils down to maybe three things coming together.
Yep.
You've got the accidental brilliance of the civil engineering design, then the toughness of modern RC tech, and just the adaptive nature of the RC community.
Right.
So our mission really is to figure out why these things, built just for handling water, are so perfectly suited for, well, fun.
So the question for you, listening in, is how does something designed purely for hydrology turn into this perfect, almost custom-built rec space?
Well, you absolutely have to start with the geometry. The shapes the engineers chose, without even thinking about RC cars.
Yeah.
They basically made tracks for us.
Ah.
The most common one you see is that trapezoidal shape. Wide, flat bottom, perfect for just flooring it, right?
Sure.
High speed.
Yeah, like a drag strip.
Exactly. And those slope sides, they act just like perfectly banked turns. Or, launch ramps if you're feeling adventurous.
And then sometimes you see those sharper V-shaped ones.
Totally different feel. That V shape basically creates a natural half pipe. It's ideal for what the RC guys call bashing more freestyle, launching the car wall to wall.
Aggressive stuff.
Yeah, high impact. And don't forget the structures within the ditches. Culverts become tunnels.
Oh yeah, driving through those must be cool.
Totally. And sometimes you find riprap, those piles of rocks meant to slow water. They become these really tricky technical obstacles to crawl over or avoid.
Okay, so the shape is one thing. What about the surface? It's usually concrete, right?
Right. And concrete has this kind of dual personality that's key. If you find that really smooth, polished concrete, that's like the holy grail for RC drifting.
Low grip.
Super low grip. Lets you do these controlled slides, wall taps, they call them, getting really close to the sides.
But most ditches aren't polished smooth, are they?
No, usually it's rougher, brushed concrete. And that's actually great, too, just for different things. It gives you massive mechanical grip.
So good for racing? High-speed turns, climbing the wall.
Exactly. High acceleration, climbing those banks. And here's the kicker. It makes it an all-weather venue.
How so?
Well, when it's dry, it's all about speed and precision, drifting or racing. But when it rains or water flows through,
Oh, okay.
it turns into this insane mud bog challenge. Survival mode kicks in.
Which must bring us to the tech, right?
Yeah.
Because water and electronics, usually not a good mix.
Bingo. This whole scene relies heavily on what's called the waterproof revolution in RC. Meaning manufacturers started sealing everything up. Receiver boxes get gaskets. The ESCs, the speed controls are often potted in epoxy. And the servos, the little motors for steering, they use O-rings. It lets you do actual submarining.
Like driving fully underwater through a flooded culvert.
Yep. It's pretty wild to see.
Okay, hold on though. Is it really 100% waterproof? Because, metal parts and water. So something's got to give, right, if it gets wet often.
That is the absolutely critical counterpoint. Waterproof mostly applies to the expensive electronics, your steel parts, bearings, drive shafts, suspension pins.
And they're gonna rust.
They will absolutely rust solid if you just put the car away wet, no question.
So that explains the maintenance rituals you hear about.
Oh, yeah. It separates the serious hobbyists. After a wet run, it's not optional. You have to rinse everything thoroughly, blast it dry with compressed air, get water out of every little crevice.
And then
Usually spray it down with a water-displacing lubricant like WD-40 or similar on all the metal bits. It's part of the hobby. That cleanup is essential.
makes sense. Okay, so we've got the place, the tech. What about just getting there, the accessibility?
That's huge. Think about it. Formal RC tracks. They can be expensive. You might have to drive a long way. Drainage ditches?
They're everywhere.
Exactly. Ubiquitous and free, often right in your neighborhood. That found space aspect is probably why it's so popular. It's just there.
And there's one more factor, maybe the biggest one, that people don't always talk about. Safety.
How so?
Well, these modern RC bashers, they're not toys. Some can hit 60, 70 miles per hour.
Yeah, they're seriously fast.
Letting that loose in an open park or a parking lot, that's actually pretty dangerous. Someone could get hurt or you could damage property.
Ah, I see where you're going. The ditch itself.
Right. By its very nature, it's sunken, it's contained. Those concrete walls act like this massive passive safety barrier.
So an out-of-control car, It's basically trapped in there. It can't easily fly out and hit someone standing outside the channel.
Pretty much. And that lack of constant worry, that inherent safety, it lets drivers really push their limits, go full throttle without that fear of causing a disaster.
That's a really interesting point. It liberates them in a way.
It really does. So you end up with this amazing synergy, this piece of urban infrastructure just meant for water.
Becomes this incredible multi-use training ground. High-speed, technical crawling, bashing, drifting.
All rolled into one concrete channel.
Yeah.
It really highlights the ingenuity of a community, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Finding this world of high-octane adventure and a genuinely safe place to do it right under our noses in the most unlikely spot.
Makes you think about where else utility and recreation might accidentally overlap, where the fun starts, right where the function seems to end.